Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to talk about how I became a digital marketer. Let's get started. Okay, so to begin with, how I became a digital marketer, how I landed up to this particular industry, and what I've learned over the past 3 years is what I'm going to share today here. But let's just start it about how I became a digital marketer. So I used to write a lot of blogs while I was already in a corporate job. So I was happy with what I was doing, but on a weekend, what I used to do is sit and write. So this was something for me as expression. I wanted to express a lot of things that was going inside, a lot of things that I was liking it, a lot of trends that I was following it. So I wanted to write down, I wanted to jot it down, I wanted to share it with the world, with my thought process, with my conclusion, how I see things. So that was what I was doing. I think I did it for a good 1.5 year, until the time when one of my colleague asked me, why don't you become a professional blogger? And he said, why don't you learn digital marketing? Of course, the industry that I was in at that point of time, the corporate job that I was doing, was had nothing to do with the digital marketing. I had no idea what I was doing at that point of time, but I was just writing. I was posting pictures. I bought a camera, like a DSLR camera for myself. I was taking picture, I was writing it, I was posting about it. So uh, seeing all that, my colleague generously just wanted to ask if I ever want to become a professional, why don't you go to this school? That is where I stumbled upon digital marketing. Now, of course, I heard about the term called as blogger. Of course, I knew now what digital marketing was, but I was completely in a delusional or denial. I was happy with what I was doing. So it somewhere back in my head, maybe I was just preparing myself for a right time, and one day I decided to just let go of this job that I was doing. I wanted to become a student all over again and learn completely about digital marketing. I researched a lot. I tried to find one of the best institute out there, and this was when I was in India, Bangalore. So I researched a lot, and I stumbled upon this institute that I felt like was a deal breaker and something that I couldn't miss out on. And I went to this school because I knew that my life's going to change if I am going to do it in a right way. So I went to this mentor or this instructor who taught us about digital marketing. He taught us about everything, starting from social media, WordPress, lead generation, inbound marketing, content marketing, email marketing, affiliate marketing. He in fact taught us how to become a freelancer, how to get freelancing gigs in digital marketing. You can become a freelancer, and that can actually make you a lot of money as well. You need not have to go to a 9 to 5 job, and that's what I was taught, and I really was soaked into the information, and it took me 6 months to do all that. Meantime, I already joined a digital marketing agency where I was actually doing SEO analyst full time. I was taking website, doing the audit, making the audit reports, sending those emails, and pitching clients for new SEO project. And that was my learning, a little bit learning about digital marketing in this company. But I left the company pretty soon. It was, I think, less than 6 months, and I said, okay, no, I want to go back to Nepal and see what I could do with digital marketing. This was the time when I flew back to Nepal, came to my hometown right after earthquake. I was completely blown out with the life I was living there and life I had it here. But still, I knew that I have skills. I've already had experience of working in a corporate in 2.5 years. I knew I would figure out some of the other thing for myself and then move back to Nepalganj. Now in Nepalganj, what I was doing is I prepared a good website for myself. I started writing blog once over again, once and once again, and now I was actually writing about, I wanted to make it a niche blog. However, I have a different interest, so that would actually, that wouldn't fit in as a niche blogging. So I started as a lifestyle blog. Now I started writing a blog, and yeah, that I started sharing it in my social media. So my mom used to know about it, my dad used to know about it, a lot of people in my friend list were congratulating me for starting this new thing and all. And I was really happy, until one day one of my uncles said, do you want to make a website for me, or can you do that for me? And I got excited. I already had a lot of learning about website development or WordPress, how to make a WordPress website, but now I wanted to dig deeper because he said, I'll pay for it if you can do it for me. And because I was already working with a company which, where I was pitching client for SEO, I also used to pitch client for website development, which wasn't my job. But since sometime when you're talking about SEO, it's like I want to revamp my website, so I would have to pitch it about how to make a website, what do you get if you pay us to make a website. So all that thing I already knew. So I pitched him very confidently. I said, okay, fine, I'll do your thing. And he asked me, how long will you take? I said, I'm gonna take some time because I'm doing it all by myself. I don't have a team as such. So and he agreed upon, and that's how I took 1 month to make this website. But I did this all on my own. I figured out a lot of things. I saw a lot of tutorials, and at the same time, since I already was doing blogs, so I knew a lot of things by myself. But to give that finished look, to give that perfect professional look, I kind of have to run through a lot of tutorials. But at the end of the month, I could manage to bag that 25,000 rupees for that website which I made. And that made me so happy, so empowered, that I was now, once I delivered it, I was continuing writing my own website, my own content. I was sharing it in a medium, I was writing in a medium, I was sharing it on social media, I was running the ads. Until one day, one of the person from Kathmandu saw my blog and asked me, called me over, and I said, if you can write more blogs for me, we're ready to pay you as a content writer. So this turned out to be a WordPress company which had a WordPress blog, so different WordPress blog. They wanted me to write about the content, and then they were ready to pay. I said, good deal, okay, I'll do it from home. And I wrote 3 or 4 blogs for them. And then certainly at that point of time itself, WordPress Kathmandu was happening, WordCamp Kathmandu was happening. Now WordCamp Kathmandu is one of the biggest event for WordPress user. He said, why don't you come, why don't you have a look on this community? It's such a good place to meet a lot of WordPress lovers, a lot of WordPress developers, designers, plugin designers, and that really got my attention. Now that made me rethink about my plan of staying in Nepal and growing that blog and doing that thing. And then I said, okay, why not? And I jumped into the idea. I took a leap of faith, and I said, okay, fine, I'll come to the conference. But my idea was, if I get something really nice, I'm gonna stay back. If not, then I'll come back and focus my own blog. Now that did happen. I came here, I met a lot of people. I was thrilled by the energy, I was thrilled by the companies, I was thrilled by the people in the community. And meantime, before leaving back to my hometown, I met few people, met few cousins, met few relatives. One of my brother I knew was into uh, editorial, or let's say magazine editorial. So I just wanted to drop in, and I wanted to share about my experience in blogging. I wanted to take a little bit of his input as well, and I wanted to share what could I do, what would be a right step or advice if there's something that I can do it here in Kathmandu. When I met him, he asked me about my knowledge, where did I learn things, what do I know, what do I don't know. And then turns out that he had a team of 3 4 people as a social media team, and he said, why don't you drop into my office and talk to my team and see if there's something that you will get out of them, or something that they might guide you what next you can do in Kathmandu, if there is any possibility. Now this was something that I did took it a little seriously, but wasn't that serious as well. I just went एकदमै मजाले हुन्छ नि, no preparation as such. I just like, okay, fine, 11 o'clock out. And then I went to that office, and I spent almost my entire day talking to that team about social media, about what they could do. I was asking them a lot of questions, probing them with the right kind of questions, and I was sharing what I have learned over the period of time writing my own blogs. And I was telling what are the good things, what are the bad things. There are certain tools that they could use. Mm. So I was actually exchanging ideas and exchanging our knowledge. And before I could come back to Nepal, my brother told me, there's a job offer for you from the same company that he was working for. I think you'll be a good addition to this team. But because I didn't want it to sound like I didn't want to just say yes, because there was already my brother. It would look like favor, or I may not grow because I've already worked in a corporate. So I knew that if you would come through a channel like this, then people will never appreciate your work. They would rather always say that you have been someone's so and so, like a sister. So that way I'll never be appreciated for the work. So I turned down that offer. But it works out that they had another sister company which had a requirement for a digital marketing, and they didn't even had a um, rolled out the vacancy. But since it was internal team, they said, why don't you join us? I had to go through one interview. I showed my blog, I showed my knowledge about social media. I said these are the things that I do, and it was a real estate company. I was pretty excited, so I took that job. I We could do a lot of things within a real estate. So we used YouTube as a medium to reach out to our potential clients for this particular real estate, and we worked somewhere around 1 year for it, where we were a team of 7 8 people. We're very close knit. We're trying to do real estate marketing through YouTube and through social media and through the landing pages, and that was good 1 plus year of experience working with them. I think at that point of time, when I joined that particular um, office, within less than a 3 months, I had my brother calling me, another cousin brother, telling me, why don't you take care of my restaurant social media? And that way I got another work as well, which was social media marketing. I started doing that side by side, so I was getting paid both way. I was just like happy with what I was doing. And then I had this certain desire of doing more things, so I had to let go the project which I was working full time. So for some reason, I said, okay, fine, I don't want to work anymore for real estate. I wanted to move on to something else, but I didn't want to again take a corporate job, because by this time I realized that I'm a typical person who want to have hands on and wants to control a little bit of thing, which is a good in a way and in a bad as well. Because you become a responsible person who gets screwed up if things go wrong. But at the same time, I was liking the fact to be at a driver's seat, to have the steering on your own hand. So kind of new feeling I saw. It was hard for me to just go to another corporate job or become a traditional digital marketer. So I wanted to do something more, and I took a time off there. I was just going through a lot of opportunities. I had 4 and 5 places where I applied, they called me, they liked, they offered me a job, but I was looking for something very specific. And by that time, I realized one of my colleague from old organization is starting up a branding agency, and it was completely new. And he's just getting started, only the name has been finalized and logo has been finalized, nothing else. And I was like, yes, that's definitely a place I wanted to be. It's because I knew that would give me a lot of exposure, and I knew that was very exciting at that point of time. I didn't take a single minute, although I had 5 6 people from a different companies were asking me, if you want to come on board, if you want to come on board. And I said, I'll think about it, I'll think about it. But this one, when I got to know that they were starting, I just had to trust my gut, and I said, okay, yes, I want to do it. Not knowing what will happen, but understanding the fact that this is what I was looking for. So I said yes, and that happened to be a creative branding agency. Later, we named it as a creative branding agency. Urban Nomads was the name finalized, and we got to work with a lot of small entrepreneurs, a lot of big house corporate houses, a lot of different kind of a startups, different kind of a people, artists. I think I had an amazing journey of 1 plus year working with a company called Urban Nomads. Now, by this time, I was doing all the other things as well, the thing that would excite me. Like, I launched myself as a personal brand in digital marketing as Shweta Sherchan. Sorry for the noise that you're hearing, Kukur Bugeko. So Yeah, so I launched myself as a personal brand for digital marketing. I started doing workshops, I started doing seminars, because that I knew was my strength. I wanted to speak, I wanted to address larger mass, a bigger mass, and that is why I became a mentor for all this kind of shows, workshop, and I said I'm available. If you need me, let me know. I started doing workshop at my own office, which is our own office. We had a meeting room which is empty, so it's like, why not we um, host a digital marketing workshop. So like that, I was engaging with a lot of people. I helped one or two bloggers as well to set up their blog. I was helping them, I'm still helping these girls to become a blogger. I'm telling them step by step, because over the period of time with working with the startup entrepreneurs, corporate, I did manage to do a corporate training for a airlines company, which was really a big deal for me. 60 hours of digital marketing course. I had to give it to the team of 7 people, where the marketing head is sitting as well, and was kind of a taunting and intimidating at first, but it took me 2 months to finish that course. But it was amazing experience for me, and I kind of learned a lot over the period of time about training and teaching as well, which is something that I'm really happy and proud of. And now this journey ended um, very recently, which is until some time now. I was working associated with this creative branding agency, but uh, slowly it was building up for me that I want to do something more, something interesting, and hence is this video that you're seeing right now. I really wanted to start my YouTube video. I wanted to share a lot of my experience, how I became a digital marketer, what are the tools that you should be using, what are the trends you should be following, the little things for the community, or for the people who want to come into this industry, because many people are into this industry without knowing anything, and even that's fine if you don't know. But this is an industry where you learn by doing. But a lot of people don't want to even accept they don't know many things, because for me, I'm very clear. When the other party asks me what are you capable of, what you can deliver, what you can't deliver, then I made it very clear, I make it very clear that these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, and I try to focus on our strength than weaknesses, because somebody else can do the part which they might be good at, so I don't do that. And I see a lot of digital marketer in Nepal. They know social media, but they just do social media for companies, they forget to do social media for themselves. Trust me, guys, being a personal brand, or using my name as a personal brand and associating it with the digital marketing, has got me a lot of attention. You don't have to associate yourself with digital marketing, but you can associate yourself with the traveling if you're interested in traveling, if you're interested in beauty, makeup, lifestyle, fashion. Associate yourself and do a personal branding for yourself, and that will actually help you to just bring a best out of yourself and carve your different niche. Don't become this boring digital marketer who doesn't want to explore, or who's just limited with his own ideas or with a corporate. I think sooner or later we all have to work for ourselves, work for others as well, but for to fulfill your dreams as well. So I'm into new journey now. I'm exploring the part where I want to teach a lot of people about digital marketing, but I also am exploring where I want to build a lot of audience for my own self. Hence I'm making this video. Do let me know if there are things that I've skipped or missed out. Do let me know, to ask me your questions about process and a step, because your questions will help me to make more videos like this. And if इङ्ग्लिसमा राम्रो छैन, or इङ्ग्लिसमा हुँदैन, you want it in a Nepali, then you can give that feedback as well. I would happy to do it in Nepali पनि. And मलाई भन्न मन लागेको एउटै कुरा हो, digital marketing is an industry. If you are a person who's confident, if you are a person who is outgoing, I think this industry is amazing. It's a blend of a creativity, it's a blend of let's say technology, it's a blend of creativity, technology, and a lifestyle. It's kind of all of these. If you're a person who's slightly interested in tech, slightly interested in lifestyle, slightly interested in the another stuff, which is something I mentioned before, I forgot. So if you तीनटा चिजको blend तपाईँ हो भनेपछि this is the perfect place to be in, because again, I want to talk about digital career. I want to talk about how to become an influencer, blogger. I want to talk about business model of online teaching. I want to talk about drop shipping concepts, or I want to talk about affiliate marketing ko kuraharu. There's a Fiverr. There's so many things I want to talk about, and that all comes under digital marketing. So digital marketing is a huge thing. I'm planning to do digital marketing for entrepreneurs as a legit course, which I am trying so hard to come with a really good platform, which I hope will happen in 2020 ko start dekhi नै. And till that time, you have to cooperate with me. I'll keep posting photos or videos or talking about it on my Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Stay updated, and wish me luck for the new thing that I'm into. And if you are somebody who's like me, who's a hustler kind, digital marketing is definitely a place. You have to be really firm and really know what you want, and this industry will definitely give you a flexibility, money, and lifestyle that you want. Thank you so much for watching this video, and do let me know if there's anything that you want to know from me. Thank you.